Greetings, one and all. This is Dr. Jonathan Ellerby with another 12 at 12. And some of you are watching because you know me and my work. And some of you stumbled into this or this was shared with you. So if you want to learn more about who I am and what I do, you can go to my website, jonathanellerby.com. I'm giving away a free book on spiritual experience right now. Totally free download. So please check that out. Today on the 12 at 12, we are diving into another whopper of a topic. To me, probably one of the most important things you can realize or recognize in the journey of awakening, healing, and wholeness. And it is why it is such an extraordinary miracle to be human, and how this realization can transform every single failure, setback, discomfort, dis-ease, and uncertainty. So if that sounds good, let's get into it. We'll start by taking a breath. I'm going to ask you to close your eyes. Let's just kind of settle into the moment and release whatever preceded this moment for you. Just big breath, nothing fancy, just a big old sigh, and let yourself slow down. Tuning into stillness, tuning into silence, breathing out long and slowly. Feel that sense of quiet growing within you. And know that this stillness is the very heart of our reality. It's the very heart of our experience. That this stillness is something that every living being shares. And while it feels quiet and vast and empty, this is the silence that holds everything. In this silence, we connect to all life. And if we learn to find, feel, and listen to this silence, all the love and wisdom of this universe will be ours, as it already is. William Blake wrote, "To see the world in a grain of sand and heaven in a wildflower. Hold infinity in the palm of your hand and eternity in an hour." This passage, a very famous mystical quotation, epitomizes what some call the Perennial Philosophy, the universal human capacity to wake up to a single principle, regardless of our culture, our gender, our age, or our place in time and space. To characterize this miracle that we're going to briefly talk about, you must take into perspective how extraordinary and precious it is. Let's start with science for a moment. When we think about scientific knowledge, we know, it's common knowledge now, that scientific knowledge changes all the time. From the time when we thought the world was flat, to the time when we thought the earth was at the center of the universe, to the time where we discovered electricity, to the time where we created the first automobile, then car, and then cell phone, and then smartphone, and so on. We now know that science and our capacity to study and know life at new levels of depth and detail is such that almost the entire body of scientific knowledge is being written and rewritten, not only by the year, but by the month, and in some fields, by the week and by the day. Which tells us that our relationship to the material world is constantly changing. We also see this endless change in society, in education, in medicine, in politics. Everything around us is changing. And all systems that are allowed to learn from their experience and integrate their learnings into their experience are evolving. They become more inclusive. They become more collaborative. They become more integrated. All systems that learn from their experiences expand and include. All systems that resist learning eventually collapse. Eventually collapse. Now, how is this relevant for today? It's relevant in a few very important ways. When we look at the accounts, the writings of mystics, spiritual teachers, people who claim to have awakened to a direct contact with spiritual reality, we find that those texts, those reports, not philosophy, not belief, not practice, but what was it like when you experienced God directly? What was it like when you experienced consciousness, energy, the ultimate nature of reality directly? We find that those accounts are astonishingly similar, and in many cases interchangeably the same, all over this planet and throughout time. You can take a collection of the writings of these great mystics and masters, from the Buddha to Julian of Norwich to Deepak Chopra to the Tao, put them all in a collection, and they will read passage after passage, page after page, as though they were describing the exact same thing. The fact that this is possibly the one consistent human phenomena that transcends time and place and culture is no small thing. It is no small thing because A, it is one of the most overlooked phenomena, not factored into political decisions, not factored into economic decisions, not factored into relationships or health, except where we see the most advanced learning systems, relationships that learn, communities that learn, businesses that learn, environments, countries that are oriented around growth and learning with humility and open-heartedness. They will demonstrate in increasing levels of integration the same exact qualities as those pointed out by these mystics, masters, and sages throughout time. What does that mean? It means that there is a hidden design to our universe. I don't care about the origin. You could say God put it there. You could say it's just the dumb, unintentional nature of physics, or anything in between. Consciousness, energy, how you explain why it's there, to me, that's your business, and frankly, it's not that important. What matters is what we know for sure. That when we listen, when we return to stillness and open our hearts to the unspoken language of what is, when we learn from life itself, without meddling, without overthinking, without asserting our way, we all come to the same conclusions. That we are one. One extraordinary living energy universe. And every one of us a facet of it, and it is a facet of every one of us. There is nothing that you can conceive of that happens outside this living energy universe. All your mistakes, all your failures, all your fear, all your illness, all your setbacks, all of it is occurring within life. Life's design, life's love, and life's wisdom. And if you resist that and assert self over life, you will suffer. And things will break down quickly. The self-centered system is not sustainable. But the miracle of life is that we, as humans, are both a living expression of this eternal design, this omnipotent design, this omniscient design, this ever-present design. And we can be self-aware of it and choose in every day, in every relationship, to welcome the flow of life, the wisdom of life, the love of life, the design of life. That's why the heart of Taoism is all about coming into alignment with the Tao, which is just a word that means the way. We live in a universe that has its own way. And congruence with that way brings joy, resilience, endurance, peace. And resistance of the way brings breakdown, struggle, pain, fear. The universe is creative and expanding, and so are you, if you let go of all that you are not. So that's it for now. I hope that's something to think about. More importantly, I hope that's something to feel about. And if this was helpful or interesting, please share it. Please follow or like my Facebook page. And of course, don't forget to pick up your spiritual experience book. It's free. Sunday at the Althea Center Denver Facebook page, we will be doing a live gathering focusing on exploring this topic in greater depth. Thursday on the Althea Center Denver Facebook page, we will look at more tools for living in balance during times of uncertainty. Every day right here, the 12 at 12. Every day right here, 8:30 p.m. Mountain Time, a short healing meditation, and lots of other good stuff on the way and upcoming. So thank you for tuning in. I hope this was helpful. Let me know if you have questions. Lots of love, and I'll catch you later. Bye-bye.